Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me and see me. Hi, Foxy, Rhea, Lady Kate, Susan Elkin, Lindsay Curry, Teresa Bennett, Demelza, Elaine, Scott. Hello, and welcome, everybody. We've been up to a lot today. Not so much checking up on the royal family. Oh, good. You can turn that off now, Graham. He's just checking that the sound and everything is working. So how is everybody this evening? Yeah, so I haven't really been looking them up too much today. And I haven't looked at any more of the court ruling. I had to get up at the crack of dawn to go on a mission for somebody, woke me up really early. So I've been out and about around Spain, and Graham wanted to go into the post office because there was a parcel from one of you guys from Nutmeg. It arrived in October, apparently, but they didn't tell us until while we were in London, and then obviously we couldn't go in and collect it. It's got to be one of us that actually goes. Thank you very much, Nutmeg, for the diffuser. We've got it plugged in, and you can't see it, but it's behind the Christmas tree at the moment. So thank you very, very much for that. And in order to do that, because I had the car, he walked into Gibraltar, which is about 4 miles, and that's just to the border. And then he walked into the Dolphin office, and then up to the post office, and then back to the border. So he's done about 5 miles today, and feels great for it. So the doctors were right. It's paid off doing the extra. Are you going to come and prove you're alive, Graham? Yeah. Proof of life. What looks a bit funny?
Well, the internet on television was all great.
Was it? Was it?
I'm just going to check it on my phone.
I'll have a look on mine. See what it looks like. Let's turn the sound down. And he's got mince pies for tonight. You've got sound up on that, I can hear it.
Yeah.
Like feedback.
It's still a bit laggy, and I'm just checking it on the phone.
I'm checking it on mine. Yes, it does. It does, yeah.
Why is that? Are you guys getting it a bit laggy, or is it okay?
Just our internet, maybe?
I don't know.
Jules says it looks a bit fuzzy, I think.
Yeah.
Images are blurred. They're good.
Yeah, it's like as if it's really freaking...
Clean the lens. Let's try that.
No, I think it's the internet.
I think it's our internet. That's weird, because our internet's normally really good. Yeah, I'm absolutely frozen.
Just check settings.
Put it on a really high definition or something.
That's all.
You sure?
Yeah.
No,
it's usually on 720.
We're only on Starlink when we're on the boat.
Yeah, 720.
Okay.
I'll try standard definition at 480, see if that improves anything. How's it running now?
It's hard to tell because we're there's a delay, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, we'll carry on with that for now. Otherwise, I have to reboot the internet.
Oh yeah, I think that's better.
Yeah.
Wave or something.
There's no need for HD. We're using up all the broadband because we're just talking in a room. As long as you can see us and hear us.
It's normally fine. I've had a suspicion.
And we're not stalling and doing this,
I've had a suspicion for a while that one of our neighbours may be using our Wi-Fi because we, when we weren't in the house, we turn it off to piss them off, just in case they're doing it.
They can hack.
And then when we come back and turn it on, it's grease lightning again. And I've also put a tray between the router and the outside of the house.
Yeah.
See if that can block their signal.
So how is the picture now, guys? How are you getting?
Are we moving? Okay.
Wish Yankee Wally were here. You've heard from Yankee Wally, haven't you?
Yes, I got another message from her, and she's great.
What, today?
Yeah,
you mentioned her yesterday. She's
coming back out of her shell little bit by little bit. I think she's been busy doing other things, and when she comes back, I'm sure she'll have a lot to tell us all. And she will be back for certain.
Foxy's on.
Still, Lady Kate's is still blurry here. Jane says, I think it's a bit blurry just because the picture is a bit dark. Maybe it's the focus.
Could try putting the light on.
We've got the
Just see if it makes a difference. So we'll have to try. Have it on your phone, Tom, so we can see it on your phone.
Well, I'm looking. I think the picture is more blurry now because we've lowered the resolution to speed it up a bit. I mean, you could try changing it back to the resolution.
The internet, look at the internet symbol on the screen.
Yeah, why is it like that?
But it's giving it full on here. I mean, we've got full internet on the.
All these technical issues.
Oh dear. Well, it seems to be on Streamyard.
Someone says, "Nah, you're fine, Fiona. I can still see and hear you, so we're good. We're
Jolly
good.
good. We shall carry on then.
Yes.
His Majesty King Charles is on again. Good evening, peasants," he says. Billionaire here. I'm fine. How are you?
They'll be showing up in Sandringham soon, won't they? What's the date today? We're getting quite close to Christmas, aren't we?
18th.
18th. There you go. So Christmas Day is in a week. Yeah, 7 days.
Yeah, Glinda, I've sent it down to 4:18.
Must be on a Tuesday then.
I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead.
No, I haven't really. Oh, it's come round fast this year, hasn't it? Yeah, it's 18th of December. Goodness me. Time. We've been back a week now, haven't we? Time has flown.
Yeah,
Really
what day is it today? Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, we came back on Tuesday.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I was thinking today, it's time I cleaned the house again. I cleaned it when the day we got back. So that's about right.
Yeah.
So tell us all about your walk today.
I had a nice walk today. Well, I made a video. I put it on my channel if anyone's interested. And I just botted along the beach and looked at the boats and things, and it was.
It's a very
it's
flat
amazing
walk,
how many
isn't it?
changes that have taken place. They've rebuilt all that sea defences down by the beach bar.
Right.
The moon,
I know.
Luna Bar.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all brand new. It's all totally replaced, and I thought, wow, we've done that over a couple of years, now, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's got destroyed. If it went any further, it would have washed the road away.
I love the Luna Bar. We'll have to do a live
That's
from
a
there
big
in the summer
beef
one
up.
day when we go down.
Teresa Bennett's on. Trevor
And
Cole.
Tabitha.
Samantha. What's the McDowell? Tabitha, yeah.
So has anybody heard
Yes,
any
yeah.
gossip today?
Yes, come on.
The only puff piece, well, the last puff piece I saw was in Geo News, and they were quoting something called Inside Weekly, something like that. I've never heard of it before. Apparently, there was a puff piece in that saying that Catherine, the Princess of Wales, phoned Meghan up and apologised profusely to Meghan. And Meghan reluctantly yet magnanimously accepted Catherine's apology and might agree to go at Christmas. I mean, is she fucking mad if her PR people have put that out? Who the hell's going to believe that? That's going to be filed under bullshit. Never happened.
Let me out. I want to check the router. Make
Yeah,
sure
of
it's.
course.
Make sure Ben hasn't moved it. I'll put it behind something.
Oh, maybe. That could be the answer. Yes, have you ever heard such a load of bullshit? Normally, like, I mean, just when I think I've heard all the bullshit, even bigger bullshit comes out. So that Catherine phoned her up and apologised, and she's thinking about going to Sandringham. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think someone's trying to save face. Someone's got egg all over one's face. Is it all right?
Yeah, it looks okay.
Okay. And I managed to lose both my earrings today. They just disappeared. I noticed one had disappeared. And then when I got back from where I went to Sota Grande today, when I got back from there, I noticed the other one had disappeared. And I thought, well, where the hell has it gone? I mean, they've literally just fallen off. I've bought every single style from the Chinese shop.
For the £1.50 each.
They are €1.50 each. So what do you want for €1.50?
So you'd losing them. If you got some decent earrings, you'd lose them.
Oh yeah, don't waste your money.
Just get drunk and go to bed, and that's the last you see of them.
I'm off home to Wales. Intend to try get our Wally out for Christmas drink or a cup of coffee. That sounds like just what the doctor ordered. I'm sure she'd love that. Absolutely love
Linda
that.
Wagner's on. Hi, Linda.
Hello. I'm home but working in my grow room. Oh, fantastic.
Grow room.
Well, just plants, you know. Why do you always have to think of something like that?
Well, when I think of a grow room, I think of.
I'm really tired.
I don't think of tomatoes.
I'm really tired because it was such a cracker dawn start this morning. But it made a nice change. It's a lovely view down there of Gibraltar. Really lovely. And I'd never been down that part before in all these years.
Which part?
Well, the port. Do you remember? We always used to go down to Soto looking for the port. We
Yeah.
couldn't figure out where it was. Now I know why.
It's on the other side.
No. It's exactly where we went down. But there's a very unlikely slip road, which looks like it goes to an old farm track. And it sort of peels off and goes down quite a steep hill, and you go under the bridge, and that's where the port is.
It's clearly not very well signposted.
No, it's not signposted at all. And I went in there and I thought, oh, this is where it is. For 14 years we've been looking to see where that is.
You used to do paintball down there. It was really close to the port.
The port is a little bit to the paintball.
Yeah.
Yes. Interesting factoid.
There you go.
Graham goes paintballing.
I used to.
Well,
Don't do it anymore.
Used to at would you call it Estepona? It's not, is it? It's Sota Grande, really.
Sota Grande, yeah.
Yeah, and you go down like a dirt track, and the place where they have the paintball centre is next to a very fancy polo pony club, which is where William and Harry went a lot in their teenage years. So they hang out or used to, in Sota Grande.
Yeah, they did. Trevor's book's just sold another one, look.
Yes,
Johnny
and a good
Evans.
review, I hope. Yes, excellent review.
Don't forget, excellent review, yes.
Oh yes, I'll have to include Sue Smith's book. I've got it here somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Her father used to do pictures and write poems to go with them. And he died some time ago, and she was clearing out his attic, and she found all of this, and she's had it published into a book, and it is available on Amazon. Let's see if I can find it. I saw it.
We're on the
other
wine
day.
again.
I saw it
It's a
the
very
other
fine
day.
vintage, the same vintage as last night. It comes in a crate of 12, I think.
Yes, I bought a copy. I haven't done a review yet. It's quite short, and it's called Never Pet a Porcupine by Dr. De Rossi, who was Sue's dad. And it's really quite cute.
Is it available on Amazon?
It is, yes. Never Pet a Porcupine. It's stickers on its spine. Stickers on a spine are fine as long as it's not yours or mine. If we had stickers, they would tear. Our shirts, our pants, our underwear. So do not ever cry or fuss, because stickers do not grow on us.
Okay. Well, it's a children's book, isn't it?
It is. And what we were hoping is it might outsell the bench, and I'm feeling confident. So I will be including that as a book. And she's put all the drawings that her father did.
So how do they find this book? You just type in the title.
Never Pet a Porcupine. I'm guessing that would be the only
It's
book.
got an ISBN number as well. Don't know if you can freeze frame it. Get the ISBN number.
Oh, the sugars will be on it, giving a load of reviews, won't they? Let me have a look. I bought it on Spanish Amazon. I bought it while we were in London to come here while we were away. Let's have a look. Do you read some comments out?
Yes. I've got to make an effort to keep up with the comments, because it's so easy to get behind. Ria's here. Hi, Ria.
Ria has got the most divine drinks cabinet.
I don't doubt it for one moment.
Yes, it's available. It's just you just search Never Pet a
How much
Porcupine.
is it? How much is it?
It is, well, here in this country, it is. Do you know? I'm not sure. I think it just
€11.49. Yeah.
Yes, €11.49.
In Spain.
So I'm guessing it's about £8 in the UK, something like
Whatever
that.
the equivalent is.
And she's got 12 5-star reviews already. And I really must do one for it as well, because I bought it. So
Glinda the Goods here.
let's have a look.
Pamela says she bought it for her grandchildren. It's a lovely book. Yes, there we go.
It is.
Excellent. Charles, I've just finished reading my book. Janice and John did it together in the end. Oh, God.
I remember those books.
Janice and John.
God, they were a lifesaver. Oh, and my other book arrived. It's called Spying.
Ladybird books, they were called.
Spying in the Crown. And it's quite thick, that. I got that recommendation, I don't know if any of you remember, The Royal Grift. And it's all about basically how MI5 was formed in the first place. And it was really by Queen Victoria, apparently. But I'm going to read all about that because I love all that sort of spy stuff. Absolutely love
Henry
it.
VIII had a network of spies, so I don't think it's anything new, is it, to have informers everywhere?
I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they handle it. And it's, oh, there's Elizabeth I. So, yeah, goes back a while, doesn't it?
Goes back a long way, all skullduggery. And who's plotting up on me? Let's hit them all executed.
Yes, there's the Queen and her father, King George VI, and a young, Margaret. God, didn't they look the same, Margaret and Elizabeth?
When they were young.
Yeah, well, even when they were older. They were like two peas in a pod. Both learned to be careful. Oh, this is quite an interesting thing.
Oh.
This is very interesting, actually. This is quite ironic. There's a photograph of Princess Margaret with her father, George VI, and it says George VI and young Margaret both learned to be careful about phone security, and new scramblers were installed in the late 1940s. So even in the 1940s, they knew to be careful what they said on the phone. Take note, Harry Windsor. If he hadn't had such loose lips in the first place.
I think you'll go back donkey's years. They've always had spies spying on each other. It's called intelligence gathering, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you've got to be stupid, really, if you're a royal and you don't realise people might be listening to what you're saying.
Do you know, in the Tower of London, there's a chair. They shot a spy in, first of all. Well, they tied him to a chair.
Joking?
Yeah, on the ring.
What was it?
German. No, it was German. German spy.
Well, they hanged the guy they thought was Lord Haw in the Second World War, didn't they?
Oh, that was because he ran an offensive radio station.
William Joyce. That was
I don't think
harsh.
he killed anybody or spied on anybody.
But it was never conclusive if it was William Joyce. So I'm sure I've told you this story
I think it was
before.
It was a big scar, didn't he?
We have a friend who, I think he still lives in the same house in Worthing on the seafront. And it's a big, big house. It's actually two houses. And he had tenants in there, and bit by bit, the tenants, when they moved out, he thought, well, I'll just keep that for me. And there's a sort of a flat in the attic on one side. And as soon as Graham and I went in the room, we said, oh, I love this room. There's a really nice atmosphere. And he said, oh, that'll be the ghost. And he explained that this old boy had lived in that part of the flat, and he worked for MI5. And I said, how do you know that? And he said, because when he died, they came and they took the wallpaper off the walls to look for things behind. And he said there were things behind the wallpaper that they took away, that they wouldn't show him. But they did tell him that this guy's job was to spy on either William Joyce or one of the other suspected people of transmitting the Lord Haw. It was something
that must be where MI5 people stash their notes behind the wallpaper.
And why not? I stashed some behind the mirrors in my flat, and I never retrieved them tonight. For all I know, they're still there to this day.
Someone will break the mirror one day and go, aha!
They'll find one of my old driving licenses.
Old bank statements.
Oh no, it's nothing that boring. A lot more exciting than that.
Oh dear.
Mm.
Someone will buy your flat now and smash all the mirrors.
A troll. Yes, go
for
it.
God, there's nothing there after all. I've been wound up of a red herring.
There really is, unless the people. I put mirrors all over one wall in my flat, like those mirror tiles. It was quite difficult to get them the same level because they have stickers behind, which tend to be different thicknesses. But it was quite effective, and it was over the chimney and in the two recesses. And I used to just slide, not incriminating stuff, but stuff I wanted to hide or keep. And because I left in such a hurry, I never retrieved it. I used to pick it out with a knife when I wanted it.
Storia.
Victoria. It would be funny if Charles invited the Markle family to stay on the Sandringham estate, wouldn't it?
Imagine if they all came on live on YouTube and they're all arguing with each other. That'd be so funny, wouldn't it? Well, you
Oh
started
my
it!
God,
You
yes,
call me a racist!
That would be hilarious. But, well, in a fictitious world, yes. But it would be amusing if he invited the Markles and he had them rock up to the church with him on Christmas Day, especially if the Markle family didn't repeat and tell everybody what happened. And, you know, they had decorum and they kept it to themselves, unlike Meghan and Harry, who like to write books and give interviews endlessly.
My granny told me a story about Lord Hawke. She was from Liverpool. And she said he was mocking everyone. Germany calling. He goes, where's HMS Victorious? It's the aircraft carrier. It's sunk. We've destroyed it. Everyone's dead. Ha ha! And everyone in Liverpool was laughing because it was in the docks getting fixed.
I do think,
have ears, all that. Yeah.
I mean,
I
I don't approve that they hanged him. I don't approve. That's a little over the top.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't even British. They hung him as a traitor. He was American, wasn't he? American Irish or something.
Was it? Well, that's if it was. William.
I think he'd blagged the British passport, and that was enough to get him angry.
It might not have
hated
been.
him. That's more.
Could have been innocent.
But his wife used to appear on the show with him, Mrs. Joyce.
Really?
And she was slagging the British off as well, and equally as horrible as William Joyce. And she was drunk, and they let her off, and she drank herself to death. She died in the 70s, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I thought, well, hang on, how come he's a traitor and not her when they both did the same thing? They were both in it up to their necks and at the Berlin Broadcasting Corporation, whatever you call it.
Oh, they
Anyway,
weren't, so they weren't
it's an interesting story,
broadcasting.
but at the end of the day, he was working for the Germans in the broadcasting centre.
But where was he
And he was-
broadcasting from?
Berlin. And he
right.
was mocking the British, that was his thing. And I don't think he ever killed anybody or had anything
You're
to
not
do with
clicking
anything
on
else.
the
But-
comments. I'll sit there if you want and do it.
No, it's okay, I can manage. But it was a bit unfair, I think, hanging him for treason, because they really just didn't like his radio show. That was the end of it, wasn't it? I mean, imagine if you could hang DJs now that you don't like.
Oh,
I
goodness
mean, who
me.
would you hang?
Or YouTubers.
All the ones from Radio 1 were really irritating, weren't they?
We'll be
years ago?
putting ideas in Harry's head.
No,
The Duke
I am
of
joking.
Sussex. They are the Duke and Duchess of planet Earth, my man. Good God.
Who was that sickly DJ that used to do our heads in? We used to hate him.
I
Telling sad stories.
loved him.
Bates.
Simon Bates.
Simon Bates.
How dare you? I absolutely adored Simon
I'm
Bates.
completely opposed to death penalty, by the way. But if any DJ,
I say you don't talk rock. I used to work in a factory, and it was really clever what they did. Because to break the day up, they made sure we had plenty of breaks, and they'd play various different types of radio over, like for an hour of music, and then there'd be silence for 20 minutes. And one of them was Simon Bates and the stories on the radio, and I used to absolutely love that one. You fool! No one forced you to listen to him. I thought Simon Bates was
just
adorable.
on, wasn't it? It was just on in the 80s.
No, it's just love listening to the stories. It really helped pass the time in the factory.
And the top, we used to listen to the top 20 on a Sunday night. It was on for an hour.
Kid Jensen.
And they'd play all these records, right? And by the way, they were the top bestsellers. And then if they didn't like the record, they just left it out. And so, like, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, yeah, we didn't like the nature of the lyrics, so we just didn't play it. And there was loads, and these it just shot to #1, and everyone wanted to buy it because the BBC wouldn't play it.
Petra Fleming says there was a girl who used to transmit in Afrikaans, and her family used to. I think a lot of people in Britain used to secretly listen to Haw and laugh.
It was
about
against the
it.
law. You were not allowed to listen to
I
Germany
bet a
calling.
lot of them did.
Everyone listened to it.
And I mean, their propaganda would have been quite unsophisticated in those
Yeah,
days.
it was just mocking, and it was just to diminish the morale of the people. That was the idea of it.
It's like how
Sure.
we feel when they're feeding us bullshit on the news. It just really makes you angry, doesn't it? And think, how stupid do you think we all
I've been
are?
watching Sky News this week, and there's nothing, not a dicky bird about all these ships that are getting missiled going through the Suez Canal. As you go down the Suez Canal, down the Red Sea, when you get to the end, you've got the Yemen Arab Republic and the Houthis, and they started off firing missiles at ships that were going to Israel.
There's a place called
And,
the Horn, which is the narrowest point. That's quite dodgy.
Djibouti or something. It's on the other side. And anyway, any ship that was going to Israel had anything to do, any stops, they were just shooting at them with missiles and things. And you think, whoa, how come this is not on the news? How come you're talking a lot of nonsense about football or litter in the street, you know, and things? And you think,
I do wonder in this day and age if they should bring laws out saying that
news channels
foreign investment should be capped. Do you know what I mean? Or you can have perhaps a billionaire from an enemy state, or worse, an enemy state buy up swathes of London.
Well, they already have.
They have to a certain extent, but I mean, they should be careful, really. And I think China's doing it a lot at the moment. They're investing and buying up swathes of all sorts of places, in Jamaica and stuff.
Thing is, though, if you fall out, it's like the Russians, you know, when they fell out with Russia,
they're in there,
they just started confiscating it all, taking it back, and they just lost it all.
Oh,
so that's what they do.
Which
sanctions. Come on.
Reminds me, there was an article in the Daily Mail a couple of weeks ago about a place in Kent. It's like a manor house. I've never heard of this place before. And it used to belong to some rich guy or lord. Some of you might know about this. I can't remember what it's called. And because in the First World War, or it might have been the Second World War, that some Russians saved his son's life, he gave the whole estate to the Kremlin. And that's where all the KGB spies are, in Kent. In Kent. And the locals in the villages around there have been saying that there are about half a dozen drones come out at night and fly low up and down their street. I mean, really low, bothering their dogs. They're probably
training all the spies to fly.
Maybe. It sounds like a drone training school. And the locals are going ape shit.
I couldn't stand Simon Bates with that soppy love story.
I loved Simon. I loved him. It's just his voice. You know, I didn't fancy him or anything like that, but I loved the stories and the.
We were talking last night about Tony Blackburn getting his trousers pulled off, debagged by who was it? Viscount Linley.
That's right.
They were all in the Bullingdon Club, and him and Boris Johnson and David Cameron and people like that, all bow ties going out on the razzle, making a mess and smashing places up. And they went in this restaurant and they clocked Tony Blackburn. He was a Radio 1 DJ at the time, and they all thought he was there with his girlfriend. And he was really offended because they just surrounded his table and just grabbed him and tried to pull his trousers off.
Goodness me. Two prime ministers.
They're just there paying the guy who owned the restaurant. Here's a few grand. Hope that will pay for the damages. And Tony Blackburn was kicking off. It's outrageous. I was minding my own business in the restaurant with my girlfriend, and we were attacked by the Queen's grandson. Not the Queen's grandson.
The subject came up because
wasn't he Princess Margaret's son?
That's right. One of the kids was watching The Crown.
I couldn't stop laughing. I thought it was really funny. I mean, it's not nice, is it, if you take your girlfriend out to a restaurant? That happens to you.
No, not funny.
I could see the funny side, you know, because.
Not sure I can. But one of the kids was watching the episode. There's quite a sad episode in The Crown where Margaret dies. And I can't remember which one of them it was who said, oh, and she never had any kids. And I said, yes, she did. Lady Chatto, Sarah Chatto, and Lord Linley. Is it Lord Linley?
Viscount Linley. That was
he's Lord Snowdon now.
Margaret, no.
Yeah, his dad died.
Snowdon was married to.
Yes, but I think her son now has the title because Snowdon
died.
I don't
know. Was his dad Snowdon?
Yes.
Viscount Linley.
Well, who do you think married Margaret?
Yeah, I suppose. Didn't she have a few husbands?
No, just the one.
Okay. You can tell I don't really follow Margaret that closely.
Oh, I loved Princess Margaret when I was a kid. Just loved her. I used to say to my mum, oh, she wears more diamonds than the Queen and she wears more makeup than the Queen and stuff. But I couldn't really tell them apart from that as a kid. But at least they did turn out to be two different people, unlike the Duke of Edinburgh and Prince Philip. For about 3 years I was watching, oh, bloody hell, I can't tell the two apart. Till I mentioned it to my dad and he put me straight.
He's got more than one title, you fool.
Yeah, well, I didn't know as a kid.
What was the Simon Bates show called?
I can't remember.
It's soppy love story.
It had a name like Soppy Letters or Sob Stories, wasn't it? Sob Stories.
I can't remember.
It was at about 10:30 in the morning, and I used to absolutely love it. Death of one innocent, one too many. Unfortunately, the law not always accurate. Agree with you, Graham. Not quite sure. I think we're behind on the comments.
I'm getting behind.
Trevor's here.
Is
Yes, isn't that lovely about Sue Smith's dad? And it's really nice that she's able to document that for her dad. And it's not a thick read. If you look at the difference, right? This is my kind of book.
Yeah, Glenda. Yeah, it's the Houthis. The Houthis in the Yemen. They've been having a civil war for years, haven't they? And the Saudis have been bombing. It's been
I
really
can't remember
nasty.
if I told you guys. I met a guy in the hospital from a country, and I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, called Eritrea. Is it Eritrea? It's near Yemen, Sudan, Somalia. Eritrea, right? It's coastal on the Gulf. I said to him, I've never heard of this country before. And he told me, he said he came to Britain to earn money, and all of his family are back there. And he said it's a beautiful country, but they have a dictator there. And he said, if I send my mum money, for example, £100, I have to agree to give 80 of it to the dictator, and she only gets 20. And he said, the day he dies, I'll go back to my country. Isn't that awful in this day and age that people?
Yeah. But how do you get rid of a dictator when
Well,
you've got one?
he reckons he's old, and he said we're all praying for his death.
Yeah, Glenda, that's how it started. They were shooting at ships that were going to Israel, and apparently now they're just shooting at ships. They don't care where you're going, and they're demanding that you come ashore so they can rob all your cargo and shoot you, murder you, or hold you as hostages and things. And a lot of ships have said, no, we're not pulling in.
Well, the insurance is going to be for.
Well, you see, one of the things is the reason you register your ship to a country like America or the United Kingdom, and in the case of the ship that got missiled last week, was Maersk, big Maersk container ship, Maersk Gibraltar, which actually is a Chinese company. I mean, the Chinese Navy should be there to protect those vessels. That's why they pay their registration fees. You know what I mean? They're obliged to defend.
There are one or two.
A lot of companies are now saying that they're not going through that bit.
I don't blame them.
So that means they can't go through the Suez Canal, which means that to get to the Atlantic, they've got to go all the way around South Africa, and that's going to bump the prices of everything up
Don't you get pirates
dramatically.
down that
Can't we
way
just
as well?
go in there and take out the missile sites? I mean, that's what the Israelis are doing in Gaza, isn't it? They see where the missiles are originating from, and they're just flattening them. I mean, we should do that in the Yemen, surely.
So where are the missile sites? Which country?
Yemen.
Oh,
Yemen
all
Arab
right,
Republic.
okay.
It's right on the corner of the
okay.
Arab Peninsula.
Mm.
The British had Aden and Little Aden. They were in the 60s, I think it was, 50s, 60s.
Well, you've lost me now. I don't know anything of this.
And once the British pulled out, it all
Used
turned to
me.
shit. They all started killing each other. It's usually the case, isn't it?
Do they have a king or a queen in Yemen or anything like
I've
that?
got no idea. I don't know.
There's a lot of countries down that way.
But
They're
people have
monarchies, aren't they?
People have been slagging the Saudis off because the Saudis have been dropping bombs on them, haven't they? It's all very nasty. I don't like wars. It's really unnecessary. It's usually due to some dictator who wants to get fabulously rich.
The thing is about war, I always feel strategically they should go hard and fast for short, you know?
Yeah.
Because the more they hold back, the longer it seems to linger, doesn't it? And that's the worst part of it.
Steve Wright. So we have Steve Wright in the afternoon.
Oh, I thought I loved him as well.
He was quite funny, actually. He was one of the funnier ones.
He was hilarious, and the other one with the sort of moon face.
It was called Our Tune, apparently, Simon Bates' show.
Oh,
Our Tune.
that's right. Yes, I remember. Yes, so Steve Wright in the afternoon was hilarious, and the other guy, can't think of his name now. Moon? Something Moon? It's gone now.
Reverend Moon. Heard of them.
So yes, I mean for now, Meghan seems to have gone quite quiet on puff pieces, but we've got 1 week left to go until Christmas. So bets on, ladies and gentlemen. Who predicts a kick-off and a screaming match? Princess Margaret was a great sister-in-law. Oh right.
Yeah. Actually, HRH King Charles, just to pick you up on a small point, and I might be wrong, but I don't think His Majesty the King is referred to as His Royal Highness. I think it's HM King Charles.
And I think
I could be wrong, but it's His Majesty.
Was his auntie.
Yeah. Just thought I'd mention that. I'm not a nerd.
We're just picking holes and being critical.
So you should get your PR people to rectify that.
Oh, you're so pedantic, Graham. I know some people get really caught up
Linda.
on that sort of thing.
We have no snow.
No snow.
Very
Oh,
abnormal
really?
for Canada. Yeah. She's in the wilderness in Canada, up in the
I know.
mountains.
I can't believe it snowed in the UK just about everywhere except for central London.
I don't like the cold.
It was
That's where I moved to
cold, but
Spain.
we didn't get any snow.
Where we used to live in Whitworth in the Pennines,
Mm.
just north of Manchester. There's it used to
No.
snow every year.
It still does. Benchy was up there a couple of years ago, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
he went up there for his
Snow.
motorbike test, didn't he?
That's right.
I mean, we used to get snow on the ground for at least 3 weeks every year without fail.
Mhm.
And it's great at first, you like it. It's nice and quiet, isn't it? You make a snowman, you throw snowballs at each other, and then you freeze and out. You're like,
Oh,
just
you
wanna get
misery
warm.
guts. I love
Wanna get
snow.
warm. The kids at school all battering each other with. They were more like a slush ball.
Or like a rock. They can be like a rock.
Horrible
Face.
child throwing it, get you right in the head, and you're like, we're
Well,
all boring with laughter, aren't we?
I think the thing is, coming from Brighton, because we do get snow.
More civilised down
south.
south.
No, but it's too salty and we just don't get snow. It's got to be really cold.
I don't ever remember snow all the years I lived in Brighton. And maybe it landed and it was gone within a few hours. But I mean, Fiona lived there most of her life.
I remember about 3 Christmases
Yeah.
when it laid in Brighton, because I grew up in Lewes, which is
Yeah.
inland.
It's more
So-
likely to have snow there.
We'd get a dusting and stuff. We had 77, 87, there were big snow drifts. But the year that we left, it snowed, don't you remember? All over the boat, all over Brighton Marina. And
Yes, it
the
was.
kids made a snowman and they were
I'd
like,
never-
oh my God, I've
that
never
was-
seen snow before.
That was Christmas 2009.
It
And I've
was.
never, ever known snow like it because we were moving to Gibraltar.
Yeah.
We bought a caravan, hooked it to the back of the car, threw all our gear in the caravan. We thought, well, we'll just drive down and we'll sleep in the caravan on the way. And we couldn't move, we couldn't get out because of the snow. The snow was there for days and days.
That's
wasn't it?
right, yeah.
I thought, this is mad, I've never seen snow like
Because
this. in
our
Brighton.
plan was to come down for Christmas, wasn't it? I think.
Yes.
And we ended up getting stuck there. So
We tried to get here for New Year's Eve and we missed it. We spent New Year's Eve in the hills in Spain. And then on the 1st of January, we actually made it into Gib, didn't we?
that's right, literally at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then we said to the locals, well, we've missed Christmas and everything. And they said, oh, don't worry, they've got a thing here called 3 Kings, which they do 6 days after Christmas or something, after New Year. I can't remember. And the kids loved all that.
Mm.
Yes, and they've got good skiing.
Graham, the German spy, was Joseph Jacobs. He's the one who was shot in the First World War. Because me and Roscoe were looking around the Tower of London and we saw the chair. They've still got the chair as an exhibit.
Ooh.
And you can see in the back of the chair, it's all missing where the bullet holes smashed it all. And you think, oh, ouch.
Mm.
You know, poor guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes things can be tough, can't they?
Yeah.
What's going on in the comments?
HM King Charles III. There we go. It's been changed.
Oh, that's better, Your Majesty.
There you go. Proper
Your
majesty,
Majesty.
now. See, you've got more credence there now. More believability.
PR team thingy have changed it. Yes. Absolutely, quite right too.
Well done, well done.
I am wrapping
It's an
up
easy
the
mistake.
gag gifts. Does anyone else do gag gifts? Yes, we do joke presents here. In fact, there's been big discussion on what everybody wants for Christmas here. And we were all really unhelpful to each other. All of us, both kids, said, don't want anything, don't know. Because they've got jobs now and they can buy whatever they want whenever they want it. So
I used to
they're
do
not
that.
hanging out for anything.
I used to do that, but my kids and the ex-wife didn't get it. They're like, they give my wife a big box, big, all wrapped up, and she opened it, and it was Persil washing up powder. And she's like, oh, that'll come in handy, thank you.
That's not very funny, Graham.
Well, I thought it was, I was 20, in my 20s, you know, and things that you find amusing in your 20s, you don't necessarily
He's never
find them
done
amusing.
that to me. He's never bought me anything for Christmas.
I always say to her, what do you want for Christmas, darling? And she says, nothing.
I say peace and quiet, no stress.
So I always get her what she wants.
I asked Ben the other day, I said, what are you going to give me and Dad for Christmas? And he went, my love.
Air
Little
for
kid.
my lungs.
Yes, I give you the gift of breath. So, no, they didn't even ask for money this year. They both don't care.
Well, they've fleeced us that bad.
They bloody well have, I mean.
They haven't got the audacity to ask for more money.
Faith's got a little convertible sports car that she bought herself, and I helped her pay the insurance and the car tax. Oh God! And well, Ben stopped fleecing us about
Never
6 months
ends.
ago.
Well, only since he's got his job at Amex.
Yes, he's getting
He keeps
good money.
moving around a lot, doesn't he?
He does.
Anyway,
I'm quite pleased to say that he comes down here. Well, sort of nearish here, quite a few times of the year, and that's what he's up to at the moment.
we saw him this week, didn't we?
Yes, he's still got a girlfriend down here, so he comes back to see her as well.
I asked Megan what she wanted for Christmas. She said a widow's pension.
Or a credit card.
Harry, Duke of Sussex.
A widow's pension. Yes.
Charmer, isn't she, Harry?
She's not going to go quietly. I mean, this must cross their minds. Whenever somebody marries into their family, they must always be very, very cautious. I suppose there was nothing they could do to prevent this one, because Harry will have said, well, that's who I want to marry. And that's that.
No, believe me, my wife's very difficult to find presents for. I used to buy lots of things and she says, I don't like it. I'm not wearing that.
Oh, you mean
Or words to that
clothes?
effect, you know.
Right,
Anything boots, you know. I've given up.
Like the sort of things a transvestite would wear. And I look at it and think, I'm not wearing that.
So, you know, in the black and white films, the chap came in, hello, darling, I bought you a dress, and they'd open the box, open the bows, open the box, they go, oh, it's lovely, I'll put it on straight away. Not her. No. She goes, I'm not wearing that. You like it, you wear it. Oh, God.
He comes
Can't
in,
even take it back and get any money now because you've thrown it on the floor.
he buys me things like, if I wore it, I'd look like little Bo Peep with a fucking bonnet and everything, and knickerbockers. I'm not going to Aldi dressed like that with a crook and a ton of sheep following me. You know, it's like, anybody seen Little Britain? I'm a lady. He buys me clothes, and I look blokey enough as it is. I don't need to look like a bloke in drag. Sorry, LGBTQ, trans community. I mean, some are more convincing than others.
So then I think of other things other than clothes and boots and jacket. I mean, I bought you a fleecy jacket. Remember in Holland,
in your
the
size,
one you had, it was
and guns, you know,
and air guns and things, and she doesn't like them either.
cameras that I don't want, I'm not interested
She's
in.
a very difficult woman to buy a present for. So the best way to do it is say to her, what do you want, darling? What do you want? And I'll go and pay for it.
You bought me
And
an
she goes,
ankle chain, a stainless steel ankle chain a couple of years ago.
Have you still got it?
I have.
Oh, she liked that. Oh,
I'll wear that one. You asked me and I said specifically in it. You got that off Amazon.
There you go.
That was a good one. By each other.
L26A1, what's that?
Is that no?
L86, do you mean?
Is that a gun?
It's a gun. It's
No.
not a very good gun. They scrapped them all, I think.
I don't
didn't they?
want any guns for Christmas.
L85, wasn't it? A2 is the one. Trevor always says they were a good gun. I've never fired one. I don't know. But the SLR in my day. I'd have an SLR. Do you want an SLR?
No, I don't.
There you
And
go.
I don't want a Tommy gun either.
Oh, tiger moth goggles. Remember your ex-boyfriend bought you some
Oh,
tiger moth
yeah.
goggles and a leather hat, a biggles.
My mum made them. My mum made them because he had a tiger moth. And so she made these sort of traditional looking things. My mum was very talented like that. And we had a couple of kittens at the time. And he was quite unpleasant, my ex-boyfriend. One of the kittens absolutely hated him and knew if he loved an item and the cat would seek it out and piss on it. Only on his items, never on mine. And it weed all over the leather headsets. And he said, well, I can't put that on my head now, can I? And I said, I don't know why Baxter just seems to hate your guts, doesn't he? That cat's got some intuition. I mean, it was literally anything.
That was a pedigree Maine Coon, that cat. It won loads of awards.
It was not a pedigree Maine Coon.
He had loads of
He was a
certificates on the wall, and it was just a cat they got from a farm.
he was a bullshitter, this guy. I mean, supreme bullshitter. And it was just a moggy I bought off a farmer for 20 quid. And when I left the country, he took the cat. And when I got back years later, he went out with a famous actress in the UK. And he ripped her off as well. And I had a chat with her on the phone and I said, has he got a cat? And she said, yes, he has. I said the name and she said, yes, that's right, Baxter. She said, did you know that he paid about £700 for that cat? It's a pedigree Maine Coon and it's won the equivalent of Crufts for cats. And I said, what? Baxter? Are you sure? And she said, he's got photographs of it and he's got photographs of its parents. And I said, that's bullshit. It was just a moggy off a farm. It just happened to be like Foxy's got a real Maine Coon. And Baxter looked kind of Maine Coonish. And so that's where this guy, Julian, had decided he was a snob and he always had to make a story up. And this actress said to me, the whole family, there are photographs of his mother holding the cat with a rosette. And I said, well, that's bullshit. That cat would never have won it. And she was like, oh my God, even the cat was a lie.
He did get Rita in to sign his aeroplane, though.
Oh, that was embarrassing as well. She had to pull her hand back. He was sucking her hand. Oh, God, he was humiliating.
Must have made his aeroplane twice as valuable, though, mustn't it? That old time.
Unless it washed off in the rain.
Put some cellophane over it.
Oh, he was an appalling liar. Absolute, total Walter.
Anyway, all these ladies in America have got guns. Look.
Yes,
I've heard
but
snobs and Smith and Wessons being mentioned here.
yes, but I just don't particularly want a gun for Christmas. I tell you what, I'll choose my own Christmas present. That way I won't be disappointed. I'll think of something.
She bought herself a birthday present once and it arrived and she went, oh, excellent, that was a Christmas
It
present.
was Christmas. They were red
Thank you,
slippers.
Fiona. She said, that's just what I always wanted. Pop, but she bought them and wrapped them up for herself.
They were red slippers, wedgies, but only
It's
going
the only
over
way.
with feathers in.
It's the only way to avoid disappointment, isn't it?
I've tried to
Talk
buy
about
presents
unwanted
before.
presents. I've been very unsuccessful.
There's nothing I want really. I mean, I feel I've got everything that I need. And
I just want you, darling.
yeah, that's a big thing. Yes,
No, it's true. It's true.
it
really
is true.
It
It is true, Graham. We've just gone to a great deal of trouble to make sure you're here for Christmas
Oh,
and many more to come after.
I hope so.
So, I mean, that is the main thing, isn't it? A turkey that turns out okay. That'd be quite useful.
Not burnt.
I've never burned a turkey. Every single turkey. Oh, do you know, I cooked a perfect turkey one year on the boat. I've done loads of Christmas dinners on the boat.
Do you mean
Get her a spider.
one
A
of them,
diamond
one of
spider.
Car spider.
Oh, an Alfa
Or
Romeo.
Jewelry. Alfa Romeo make a spider, don't they?
Yes, anyway, it was, I don't even remember the year. It was
Hang on.
2012.
I'm getting a Walther PPK for Christmas, but you don't live in America, because I heard they're banned in America, the PPK.
Anyway, it was great trouble cooking Christmas dinner
Maybe
on the
not.
boat. Lots of trouble. Full turkey, and I did it in a halogen oven. It's so cramped in that galley, and it was absolutely perfect. I put one serving out for us and our guest, and I stupidly put a glass dish on top of the microwave right above the turkey, and I quickly opened a cupboard door, and it clipped the glass, fell on the turkey, smashed, and the turkey was covered in glass shards. Couldn't eat it. And that was the best turkey I've ever. It was like really moist, wasn't it? It was absolutely.
I know you put the cover on it and you eat it later and have turkey butties the next day.
It's never. It's always.
It doesn't taste as nice, does it? The next day, you've got to get it on the day when it's hot.
Yeah.
Never tastes that good again.
And as I said last night, I was just going to have like a little chicken crown or something. You know, no, His Lordship wants a full turkey.
Yeah.
I suppose you want stuffing and sprouts and all that lot. I'll have to smuggle them out across the border.
Smuggling sprouts again. Oh.
Smuggling gravy and sprouts. I won't bother with the carrots because the guy went off his tits, as we all know, a couple of times before about that. Oh my God, I'm talking to a real Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, and no, I'm not single.
It really is Prince Harry and the King.
It is. It is.
They're always on our channel.
He sends us WhatsApp voicemails. What do you mean I'm stupid?
Meghan was going to come on, but she's been blocked apparently for another 10 days.
For being rude to people and trolling people. Particularly Catherine, Princess of Wales.
Yeah.
That's why I suppose we'll never see William and Catherine in our lives, because of these guys keep haunting us, don't they?
I forget Daddy's to bail you out, Harry. How much do you need now?
He's going to pay a lot more than 48 grand, I can assure you. I'd just love to know where we can find out about the costs hearings, because there'll be a whole ton of them, because he started all these lawsuits about 5 years ago. They'll be like buses, won't they? They'll be coming out with decisions, and then there'll be the costs. So I'd really, PPK is a useless weapon.
It's not actually. It's all right if you're about 10 feet away. But if you're more than 10 foot away, the beauty of the PPK is you can have it in your pocket and nobody knows you got it. It doesn't bulge too much.
Like a Derringer, depends on the purpose.
It's small and compact. That's why they're banned in America now. If you've got an old one that was registered before a certain time, I think I seem to get the drift. Because I watched this channel called Legacy Collectibles, and he buys and sells German guns. They make, I think Remington make a PPK. But the laws all change. The laws are always changing, aren't they? And I'm pretty sure they're banned now. You can't get a new one. You have to get an older one. You can't import them anymore, I think. But there's another. It's not called the PPK. It's called the PK. Is it?
Oh,
it's the same, but it's a bit longer. And that makes all the difference.
Don't ask me, mate. I don't know anything. I found a gun once when I was about 3. I found a real gun. I'm sure I've told you all the story before. Meghan must be bribing her journos again to keep daily articles. Well, you just pay. Any of you can. We do at Dolphin Safari, and I think you find lots of customers do. You just go to a publication and you say, I want to pay for advertising, and they say, well, you can have a full page, half page, quarter page, or you can have an editorial. That's what they're called. And we've paid for that sort of thing at Dolphin Safari. It's quite common practice. It's just not normally individuals don't do it to bolster up their character because no one fucking likes them. That's a new one on me, and that's what Meghan does. That's what her puff pieces are. I'm sure of it. Absolutely certain. Because who the hell else is writing it, and why? Doria, you will be in for a big shock when they get you, as they have all the information about you and your daughter. The smackdown is coming to bite your asses. Well, I'll wager they'll end up two very wealthy ladies, and her and Harry will divorce. But
she'll be appearing live at
they'll be paid off.
A very exclusive car park in Los Angeles this Christmas. Keeps getting packed.
Wants a multi-story for Christmas, so she can break it up a bit. Bit of variety.
Yeah. I'm getting behind in the comments again.
You're
Sorry,
getting
guys.
very behind on the comments. Catherine is going to be on the cover of British Vogue. Yeah, I was watching Neil Sean today as well. He has interesting little tidbits that come out. Hello, Princess Carol. Buy Fiona one of these Me Gain stress patches. Oh, God, no. Shame she's American. Well, there are 320 million of you, aren't there?
Where?
In America.
Is that how many?
Or is there more than that? Maybe there's more than that. 420
I don't know.
million. There's a lot of people who live in America. My brother had to have his sick cat put down on the same day. A couple dumped a kitten in a bus, and my brother took it in. Oh.
Foxy does the cat cafes,
Yes.
especially the one in Eastbourne. He's got some really good videos of the cat
Really
cafes.
lovely.
You go in the cafe and there's a little cat staring at you, loads of them. They're all on different shelves.
You can
on
try and
different
adopt
levels.
them. You know, I think that's the principle of it. You go in, and if you particularly get on with a cat, then they check your credentials out to see if you're suitable for the cat. And if it works out, you adopt the cat, I think, for free. I
But they
think.
must run out the door when you go in, as you open the door.
No, they
Tingling,
have 2 doors.
like a jail, 2 doors, airlock. So the kitty can't get away.
Anyway, it's nice and warm in the cafe, isn't it? They've got lots of people to go and fuss them. How's our cat? Oh, she's in front of the fire again.
I'll just check the log because
Oh, yes.
couldn't get the door shut before and I had to wait for it to burn down and push it in.
Oh, yes.
And if you forget, it falls out and sets the sulphur on fire. So it's important to keep an eye on this. It's coming up to 8:55, so we've got 5 minutes left. So fire's the sofa. Alright, you don't talk to people, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it, I can see. Get out of the way, let me get in there.
Yeah, I can get this off my marble. Oh my God.
Alright, you deal with it then.
Could you just look under the sofa if you can get that low?
I did say,
Well, it was right up against
no,
the
there's
door.
nothing under the sofa.
You sure about that? That's like essential.
Needless to say, make sure the log doesn't fall out the fire, darling, when you open the door.
There was no log in the back of it. There was no log.
We left it a bit long, we should have checked on it
I didn't know.
earlier. Oh, Doria's on here. They're having private arguments with Harry and King Charles. New Range Rover, Harry, what? This one's too old, it's nearly a year old already. Need a new one. I think we're nearly there. Oh, Trevor gets a white ball for Christmas. You can never go wrong with diamonds, Imogen says Fiona.
Yeah, but
Do I look like I can afford diamonds?
that's true. That is true. Right, I'll stick a different log in for the smaller one, I think.
Yeah, get a smaller one. I'll get one from the hall. We've only got a few more minutes to go because we said we were going to do an hour tonight. And we're nearly there. Black belt barrister.
Oh, is he on there? I would be impressed.
No, it's Catherine T says Black belt barrister thinks Harry will have to pay MGN expenses, although he won. He didn't win. He won.
I think he's right. Yes.
14 counts out of how many was there? 60.
33.
33.
Yeah, and also,
That means he lost all the rest.
and not only that, Graham, if you watched my video the other day, they weren't exactly outright wins, you know?
Right.
And actually, looking back on it, I think that judge was sort of throwing Harry a bit of a bone. I don't think he really wanted to rule that he'd won any of them. Because on the ones where he won, it's almost like the judge's speak is, oh, I feel really sorry for Harry. I've got to at least give him some sort of hope or a victory. I can't let the poor guy, you know, because he's sympathetic. I wouldn't have done. I'm a fucking idiot. Shouldn't have brought this action at all in the first place.
Bring back
I
medieval
wonder
era
if Daniel will
punishment
be
for
able to
treason.
tell us where we can hear about the costs hearing.
He
That's
might
what I'm
know.
really
He might know the
interested in.
costs here. It'll come up, I'm sure. Someone will be sure to point it out. No, I don't agree with that medieval era punishment. It was quite horrible medieval era punishments.
I wonder if that will fit in.
Do
you think that will fit in?
It's the dark ages, isn't it? Our society's evolved. What?
Do you think that will fit in?
No, you need something smaller than that to get in the big size.
I'm going to try.
We've got a very small log burner, and a lot of the logs we get are too big. You won't go in, and you have to leave the door slightly ajar.
Oh, that fitted.
Oh, did it? Okay. Well, you're going to come and say goodbye because we're coming up to the hour now.
Well, hang on, I've only been busy.
And I'm trying to catch up with the comments on the.
Yes, because you see, it's all very well someone saying they've won a court case, but there's winning and winning. And if we all get to see the costs hearing, and the costs are phenomenal, and also not only the money, the judge presiding over costs will be very critical and say, for example, to the Mirror, well, you were bloody minded and that was completely unnecessary what you did there, so you can pay for that. And they'll say to Harry's team, well, you were a fool to put that before the court. You wasted so many days. You've cost MGN money. You can pay for that. And it can be a very harsh thing. Well, that's what I'm hoping. And actually, with our lawsuit, without going into details, the way we brought it to an end was I called an application to have one of my defendants sent to prison for lying under oath. Oh, we call it misremembering now, don't we? And the judge refused my application. And their lawyer wrote me a really nasty email saying, no, that's going to cost you dearly. I'll make sure you pay costs for that, £6,500. And I thought, you little shit, because you were in that court, same as me. And I knew he'd have gone back to the client saying, we won. I thought, I bet you won't tell him the details, will you? So we went to the court and I paid £5 a page for transcripts of what was said when I said to the judge, this man has been lying, and I pointed out 20 lies, outright, outrageous lies. And he just sort of said, well, look, this is kind of extreme, asking me to send him to prison. What do you want me to do? And I said, well, I want him to tell the truth. And even though you're ruling against me, I want you to make it clear that if he keeps lying, he's going to go to prison. And the judge played along and he said, yes. If someone is lying in my court, they will go to prison. So we got the transcripts and we delivered them on Christmas Eve to each of the defendants. Graham delivered them by hand so they could have a little read. And I got a highlighter pen so they could see the bits about them going to prison. And we posted their barrister's one second class on Christmas Day. So he would have got his copy later. And it put the absolute willies up the defendants. I can only imagine the conversation with their barrister. Oh my God, you never said we could actually go to prison. This is a civil action. We didn't know. We've signed affidavits. We've said shit that's not true. I mean, it was outrageous. And I proved it with Google and other data that they'd lied. I had them nailed, knocked down. But they were multi-million-pound property development company in a small place. And so he might have classed that as a win. And yes, technically he won that application, but his client said, quick, smart, you'd better write to the Heskeths and say, we'd like to mediate. And that's how it ended. You know, that's what we wanted from the beginning, for them to stop bullying our family, stop bullying our children, and sit down and talk to us. And that's how it ended. So that was a win. But there's many different ways of winning in a lawsuit. And it's not like the movies or a criminal trial where there's a guilty innocent, you know, and everybody just gets up and walks away. Civil is a lot more sticky wicket, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, a costs trial could go on another 5 years. If Harry's still alive, he's gone bald, he's going grey, he looks aged. And believe me, there's nothing like a lawsuit for aging a person.
Well, the threat of having to get a job.
Yes, it might come to that, Windsor. We wish you a Merry Christmas. I bet he's not going to have a Merry Christmas with old misery guts Meghan, is he? And just imagine her pulling her face from the opposite end of the dining room table. That's if they're still in the same building. My suspicion is he's been tucked up somewhere in the Cotswolds all this time. He's already in the UK.
I know what he's getting the kids for Christmas. New batteries.
I'm not participating in this at all. Right, is
I
it
have
time
yet to
to
be
wrap it
convinced
up? We've
that
only
they have
run
any.
by about 5 minutes. Hopefully I will be a lot more awake and alive tomorrow. It was an early start and it's been a long day. Thank you
Indeed.
very much for joining us, and we'll see you same time tomorrow.
Good night, and may your God go with you.